Most guys think they're stressed because life is chaotic. I used to be one of those people until I realized that my life was just unstructured. So I chose to add some structure and automate 3 different areas of my life this time of year. By doing less manually, it actually takes up less of my brain power and allows me to focus on other things. For those who know me, I work shift work quite a bit. I'm always in different places. I'm trying to balance things like exercising, training, making these YouTube videos on the side, having a social life. And if I don't automate at least some of these things, I end up burning out, and that's how I felt earlier this summer. The first thing that I tried to automate this time of year was my finances. For example, I did a deep dive on all of my recurring expenses over this past year to date, and I've tried to automate all of it. For example, I took all of my recurring expenses like my car insurance, my house insurance, my property taxes, even things as simple as my ski pass, and I tried to figure out how much it's going to cost me every single year so that way I can work backwards when I'm trying to budget for it. I can just automate these expenses and try and take that money out every single paycheck. That way it's not one big expense that ends up hurting me more than it needs to. Doing this has allowed me to free up a lot of my money and figure out where I can reallocate other funds throughout the year. And that leads into automatic transfers into my investment accounts. Because I set this money aside every single paycheck, it comes out automatically and I don't have to think about investing. It's just something that happens in the background. This is incredibly helpful for those who feel as though they have nothing left over at the end of the month. By taking care of those expenses that are going to come out and taking care of those investments that are going to come out, you end up playing with what's left and you end up adjusting your lifestyle ever so slightly so that way you can play with what's left. And trust me, you think it's harder than it is. You do it for a couple months and then you end up forgetting that you ever had that money coming in the first place because you've already given it a home. And the last thing with finances that I've automated, and I can't believe that I'm even explaining this in a video, but I talk to so many people that still don't do this, is automate your credit card payments. There is absolutely no reason that you should have to put mental capacity into paying off your credit cards. You should be paying these things off in full every single month, and then that way you're not going to be incurring any ridiculous fees, any stupid interest payments, and you don't have to think about it. Not to mention, like, life gets busy. If you miss a payment, that is a stupid hit to your credit score. You just don't need that, especially when you can set it to automatically come out of your account every single payment. For me, it's even more important because I like to take advantage of credit card perks. So in other words, I have more than one credit card. If I had to keep track of every single card that I had and pay each one off monthly, there is 100% chance that I'm going to miss a payment, and there's absolutely no reason for it. Get those credit card payments automated so it's one less thing you have to think about. Can you hear these dogs just going absolutely insane right now? This is what I get for filming outside for a change. Maybe you can't. I don't know. That's okay. Let's try this again. The next system in my life that I use to automate is with my fitness regime. I used to be all over the place. I would go for a run here, I would work out here, I would play soccer here, go for a hike here, and I was all over the place, which is great. It's fine. It's great if you want to be spontaneous. However, if you're looking to try and reach specific goals, it's terrible because you'll end up procrastinating or you'll end up spending too much time at the gym, not enough time at the gym, and then now you're late for other things and your life turns to absolute chaos. What I've started to do, and it needed a lot of persuasion, like a lot, but I finally started signing up for specific fitness classes because that way I know what time of day they're going to end up being, and I also have a general idea of what the workout is going to be. It makes scheduling the rest of my day so much easier knowing that I've got a 1-hour block of fitness from here to here, and then it ends up being one last thing that I have to think about. I just show up and I do the workout that I'm told. Yes, it can be a little bit pricier going to classes as opposed to just doing fitness on your own, but trust me, if you are struggling with consistency, this is the easiest way to improve that, by automating something like this and creating a system so that all you have to do is show up and do the work. These types of workouts make it super easy to try and stick to, especially when your life is as inconsistent as mine is, like for example when I'm working shift work. And if lifting weights isn't exactly congruent with your goals, that's fine. Go and join a running club or something. Every city that I go to, I've been able to find a running club because yes, it's bloody trendy, but it's a scheduled time every single week that you know that you can go and run with friends for half an hour and get a little bit more fit. The third system that I'm trying to automate and create a system for this time of year is with my eating. I have a busy life. I have caught myself over this past year spending so much money eating out because I didn't have time to cook food, or I didn't have the ingredients at home, or I just didn't want to go to the grocery store and then not have the ingredients that I need and then have to go to a different grocery store and then repeat excuse. This takes all the guesswork out of it. I've tried basic meal prep, but it still doesn't do it for me because I still don't always have the time to go and grocery shop. My life can just be too busy sometimes, and it's something that I wanted to automate. So I signed up for HelloFresh again, and this time I'm taking advantage of the systems that they have inside the website so that way I can schedule my groceries and the meals I'm making whilst keeping track of the calories and proteins that I'm putting into my body in every meal that I'm eating. It helps save me time at the grocery store, it helps me keep track of what I'm eating, and it allows me to still have a little bit of variety because let's be honest, regular meal prep can be super freaking boring to eat the same thing over and over and over again. So if you weren't aware about the HelloFresh system specifically, I'm just going to show you real quick because it is incredibly easy to automate. You basically have your schedule here and it takes week by week. You can pick as many or as few meals as you want in whatever servings you want. That way you can schedule these ahead of time when you sit down, say for morning coffee one day, as opposed to having to think about it all the time, week after week. You could do weeks at a time in like a half-hour time span and then you're done. You can set it and forget it. And yes, I have a code that can get people free food. The link is down in the description below. I think it helps get me a slight discount on my groceries, but I wanted to help you. If you want to try it, feel free. If you don't like it, cancel it. I don't care. This isn't a sponsored video by any means. I'm just trying to give you ideas to try and help make your life a little bit easier. And the reason I really wanted to reflect on my systems and automations this time of year is because, that's right, it's Movember again. I'm going to be fundraising once again by running at least 60 kilometers for the 60 men that commit suicide every hour globally. If you want to donate to the fundraiser, there's a link down in the description below. And if you want to join my team and help fundraise together, send me a message and we can try and figure something out. Systems and automation isn't necessarily about being a productivity robot. It's about having more mental space so that way we have a little bit more time to take care of ourselves and the men around us. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe, and push the bell notifications icon. That way you can follow me along this journey. You can see the mustache as it grows, and we can try and raise money together. To date, we've already raised $150 and we're only on day 3. Take care of yourselves, guys. Have an amazing rest of your day.